The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. 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 The Foundation.
The Foundation of Heart Grant is brought to you by Alive, Burger King, Central Bank, the Cleveland Clinic, Commonwealth Bank, Pindertal, Popeyes, Ports International, Printmasters, and Ron's Electric Motors.
The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, The Foundation. Live and in full effect on this beautiful May 15th, mid-month, guys. Getting yourself prepared for the end of the month. Moving quickly into June and the summer months. Hoping for more rain very quietly. I know you guys are there on East Bay Street. I'm just hoping that you have lifesavers and preservers, because we know that some crazy stuff happened out there, y'all. And Pinewood, we hope that everyone is okay, but we need the land to be saturated. So there's some things that we're going to have to endure as we continue to be able to push forward. Guys, May 15th, grateful to be in your company, always happy. Jamming with you the way that we are. Got to shout out my good, decent people over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. Go check them out. Get yourself insured. Get those things taken care of. You know, they got great packages. The packages are not just relegated to you getting your car insured. There are some other packages that you could ask for and ask about. Give them a call at 341-1AFS, 341-1AFS. You can be able to check them out, number 407 Blue Hill Road South, right? Also, I got to let you guys know, we've been talking about this for some time, talking about this kind of a concept and idea. Mother's Day has just passed. Father's Day is coming. I know you guys only hear Mother's Day, and then you hear Labor's Day, and then you hear Emancipation Day. You don't even care about Father's Day. You don't even care. But my God, we just pray that you care and remember the daddies. He couldn't do it without us. You couldn't do it without us. My God, you tried, but you couldn't do it without us. So we're here, and we'd like you to be able to celebrate us. And if you're doing that, remember, you can be able to do something with Da Vinci Printing and Innovators and being able to kind of get something, commemorate something, a poem, maybe something that you wrote to Daddy when you was young, maybe something that you found out in an old box or something like that. Now you want to be able to amplify and put that thing, make that thing available for Daddy to be able to see and enjoy. You can do that. Give him a call. I'm over at Da Vinci Printing Innovators. They are located, on Village Road Shopping Plaza, right there, and intersection of Village Road, Burnett Road, Village Road, Soldier Road, and Wolf Road. Right there at the intersection, you can be able to find them, and they'd be more than happy to accommodate you and make sure that you're comfortable in that space. Like I said, Da Vinci Printing Innovators, and the number you can be able to call them for is 677-2922. That's 677-2922. Also, you know that we've been talking about Cocoa Plum Wellness. We've been talking about that, and very excited about that. Just had a call from Dr. Teresa. I don't know whether or not she has the opportunity to be able to call in with us today at 1 p.m. to tell us a little bit about what's happening out there, the kind of response that she's getting and whatnot. But you know that's 25% off Cocoa Plum Wellness on Mondays and Fridays, and 50% off on the 25th day of the month. So you get 10 days to get your 50% off. Go on www.CocoaPlumWellnessBahamas.com, CocoaPlumWellnessBahamas.com. make your booking, set your appointment, set your time, and get yourself 50% off on the 25th day of the month, or set yourself the appointment to be able to get yourself the evacuation, the alleviation that you've been looking for. This is with the hydrocolonic. We've been talking about this very well for a little while, so we want you guys to be able to check that out and get those things taken care of. And last but definitely not least, I want to be able to tell you about a friend that's going to be coming in. Now, he's been the advocate, the proverbial John the Baptist of on his pilgrimage of conservation, to be able to tell the entire nation about this kind of a concept and idea to prepare yourself to move towards MST bar. We talked about that. We talked about art development and Avery Lightbourne being able to put us in this kind of a position to find out more about what's going on with the MST bar. This is in conjunction with art construction and art development. For the modern construction, this is fiber reinforcement polymers. We've been talking about that, talking about not having your bell core swell up, talking about these kind of ideas to ensure that you can be able to get these things done. I gave you the number. He's going to talk a little bit more about that right after we get the first segment out. But the number is 822-9527, 822-9527, or you can give him a call at 603-4506. That's art development and art construction in conjunction with MST Bar. They bring you the modern construction, which is fiber reinforcement polymers. We're going to talk about those things. Guys, pick up your Guardian newspaper. All the information's in there. New chapter for Grand Lucayan today, Deputy Prime Minister. Government found the right deal for the resort. Oh, I hope so. I hope so. Jesus. Government found the right deal for the resort, right? This is the Grand Lucayan deal that's been pending and put off for another 45 days, put off for next days. We can go back at this again. And now we find ourselves in this position where they're being able to deal with it. So we're excited to talk about it and excited to kind of get in those positions, all right? The MPs clash over question time. This is crazy. Leader of the opposition business in the House of Assembly, Adrian White, yesterday accused the government of failing to honor the rules of the parliament after the majority decided not to move forward with the question time. The 30-minute period allowed opposition members to question the government ministers about various matters and is supposed to take place in the House of Assembly on the second Wednesday of every parliament session held every month, right? Petty says that he intends to become prime minister one day. Petty says that he intends to become prime minister one day, and then man accused of raping a woman while she slept. Just a little side note to Petty. Betty, I love your tenacious posture and your vibrance, your determination and your conviction to be able to speak those things that you don't see as though they are. Praise God. But let's be very clear. Everyone who became prime minister did so on the shoulders of men. Hubert Ingham never come out here and say he could do this. In fact, you heard him many times saying, men tell you could do this, and that's where you got to get your support. So if ain't nobody carrying water for you, we got to figure out how we can douse out this flame that's coming against you on a day-to-day basis, so we can talk about those things. But right now, I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine who's in the studio. We've been talking for a little while for him to come here. He's supposed to come last week. He told me, Howard, I didn't know. You ain't called me back. You didn't say this. You didn't say that. But I'm grateful that he's here with me today, ladies and gentlemen. None other than world-famous Konkolé Konkala. My brother, what's happening with you?
Very cool, Howard.
Man, it's good to see you.
Man, it's a pleasure.
It's exciting to be in the studio with you today.
Oh, yeah.
You got your orange on. I only can see you on Facebook.
Well, listen, the phone ringing off the hook.
All the time.
All the time.
Tell people who you are and what you do.
Well, for those who don't know me, I'm actually the country leader for Let's Do It 242 Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
I represent the largest civic organization around the world connected to 200 countries. Mm-hmm. That's how powerful this movement is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Let's Do It 242 Bahamas?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And we're responsible for connecting for World Cleanup Day every year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see that, you've traveled the world with this initiative.
Yes, I went.
When you started, tell me when you started.
I got
Almost 10 years ago. Or a little
no. I believe it or not, Howard, I started 13 years ago,
You serious?
and I start document because I live in Grand Bahama for 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved back to Nassau, I saw the place was riddled up. So everyone tell me, don't say nothing, don't say nothing, don't say nothing. But after I started to wake over to Atlantis, and I started to meet a lot of people, I started saying, man, something wrong. Then I started making my move and just taking pictures and videos and stuff.
Again, in the back of the bush and all those things.
I've been doing all of that because I wanted to document. I wanted to document because I wanted to see if this for real. If our government is going to allow our country to look like this. We call ourselves a tourist nation, right? Tourists for what? Over the hill? Or
But the tourists can't see that. The tourists behind the wall in the people hotel.
No, Howard. This the Bahamas.
Over the hill, it got to look nasty. That's what they think.
No.
That's how they treat us.
That's how they treat them. They ain't gonna treat me or you like that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, like treat them. They ain't gonna treat me like that. I said real behemoth.
Where's the first? Did you go to New Zealand? Where's the first place that you traveled that I remember years ago? Me and you talked about this.
I went to Estonia.
Estonia. I know
Yes.
some kind of that's far off.
Yes,
something.
Estonia.
Wow, Conquerling. And all this because of an initiative to say that I want to clean up my space.
And the crazy thing about it, they find me
Because of what you was doing
because I was doing online.
Online.
What happened is they wanted to introduce World Cleanup Day. They had a program in their country for 10 years, and they wanted to introduce World Cleanup Day to the world. So they was looking for people all around the world
Wow.
with the same kind of interests, and they found me.
Wow.
Then they asked me to go into Panama to do a leadership conference. And afterwards, when I got my leadership certificate, then afterwards I was linked to their network.
I see you. I remember you taking pictures with so many people, and your wife was traveling with you, right?
My wife never traveled with me none of the conferences. She's traveled with me all the time when I go other places. But
Oh, because I only see you and your wife taking pictures when you go off.
Yeah, she always traveling with me, but not every conference, Howard, I've been at the conference by myself. It was.
This is a heavy duty that you could shoulder by yourself.
You know,
Is this a lot?
Howard. Let me tell you something. What is so bugging, right? When I landed in London, I got a phone call. Uncle, where you is? I said in London. Say, boy, BN get you on. Say you going to one big thing conference. I said, yeah. When I landed in Estonia, I got a call from a sitting MP. I ain't gonna call the name. A sitting MP called me and said, Conklin, I understand you representing the country. I said, yeah, represent us well. Yeah.
And you ain't got no support from them.
I got a call twice from a sitting MP twice on an international move. But I never get no... The only person that really supported World Cleanup Day, and I got a shout out to Mr. Warren Miller. Warren Miller, step up to the plate.
He has always been an advocate for an environmental posture and position.
Warren Miller, step up to the plate. Me and Warren Miller still got to do some stuff together. He's the only Minister of Environment because like I was in the wash house the other day and I saw Diago and we was talking. I told him what I had to tell him. I wouldn't repeat what I tell him.
Yeah,
I said, but listen.
That don't sound radio friendly.
No, I tell him the truth. When I tell people the truth.
Go ahead.
I say, listen. I say, the last MP was my MP. And he pretty much boycotted me. So you know I got a sour taste in my mouth, right? He said, man.
Sitting MP for the F&M.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So he's talking about, give this one a chance. Boy, listen, I's a grown man. Give what a chance. Like I tell you earlier, you can't tell somebody who done been inside your shoes 10, 20, or 30 years. Give a chance? Who you talking to, little boy?
You think you're tired of this then?
Man, look, I'm tired of that.
13 years.
13 years of
let me tell you
documenting.
something. Let me say this to you. I've been in Nassau this year, 2025, could make 14 years.
Is the place clean or dirty?
It's filthy. However, this ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying to you, I remember the beginning of your journey on social media, showing people so forth.
Yes.
And I watched the progression of how you developed over time in terms of people reaching out to you, you reaching out to people, you going off, you doing significant representation, you taking pictures with bodies of people all along the lines of being able to represent the Bahamas for cleanup. Talk to me about that.
Howard, this program only asks for 5% of the population to clear up their country. Citizens cleaning up their country, not governments, not giving contracts to people. You understand what I'm saying? When you go and you fix your country, you fix your country. If you go and you voluntarily say, listen, we going out there, we can work together. If you finish working out there, Howard, you ain't gonna let nobody throw garbage there.
No, that's a level of pride you have.
You
now.
understand what I'm saying? You gotta instill pride
I
in your
just
people.
cleaned this.
Yeah.
That's like when you wash the dishes.
Yeah.
And somebody come throw one plate in the dish. Hey, wash that.
5%, you know. And you know the door always get closed. You know why the doors get closed? Because it ain't their idea.
That's heavy what you're saying.
I stutter?
We could call name after name.
Bro.
Because it ain't their idea,
and listen,
it ain't
I
getting
said,
nowhere.
you have to understand something. I've been doing this for a long time. I ain't making no stories
You
up.
send
know.
letter after letter to administration after
I ain't
administration.
making no stories up, bro.
Yeah.
I get emails that I sent.
So you said 5% of the population,
Yeah.
which is about 20,000 people in this country. We got 400,000 people. 10% of
I'm
that
talking
is
for the
40,000.
whole Bahamas. I ain't even talking about Nassau.
That's what I'm trying to tell you right now.
You know?
20% of the population. The population of the Bahamas is about 400,000 people right
Yeah.
now. 10% of that is 40,000 people. Half of that, which is 5%, is 20,000 people. How much people volunteer with you right now? How big a team is?
I would, you know, it's so embarrassing, right? That last year, the new director from the Department of Environment Health, she must have been doing her homework. I had a meeting with her last year before World Cleanup Day. And she said, you know, I'm embarrassed. All the other Caribbean countries doing so well and we ain't doing well. We ain't doing well. You know why? Divide and conquer being the thing, Howard.
Wow. So tell me this before we get out of here. Tell me this. World Cleanup Day, September 20th, 2025. We're going to be looking at that, being able to get some things done. What would you like to get done, and what do you need to get that thing done?
What I need everybody to get online. I don't need nobody talking. I need somebody doing. I need, okay, you say you have representatives in these constituencies. All right? They have allowances. They can put teams together. They can say, hey, hold on. Let's reach out to Concolay. Let's get 100 people. Let's get 200 people. Let's partner with him. Let's do this together. Let's clean up our community. No, they can't. What he is? He's a PLP. He's a F&M, or he's a COI. What he is? Voice. He's a Bahamian. That's what he is. A Bahamian. And I keep telling them, listen, I don't subscribe to no political organization. I keep telling these people that, but they still come in, what you is, PLP, F&M, or COI? I say, anybody who stand up for the Bahamian people, that's what I stand up with. If you're a PLP and you stand up for the Bahamian people, I with you.
Concolay, give people your number, your name, your information, how they can reach you, where you are on Facebook, how we can be able to
I
get
have
some
all the
things done.
social network.
Go ahead, tell them.
You know, I'm on all the social network. Just
Tell them how to spell your Concolay. Go ahead.
CONCHALAY. Once you put it up, everything will be pop up. Just send me a message and I will respond.
What's your number? You got a number you want people to call? Or
This
you don't use it?
this phone's be ringing off the hook right now. I don't want to
Okay.
get this number online.
All right.
This phone.
So they can message you on Facebook.
They can arrest me any network, Facebook, Twitter, that's X, what's TikTok, all the networks. I'm on all the networks. I just want us to come together and work together and clear up this country together, man. That's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's looking for representation. He's looking for at least 10 people from each constituency. That Nassau has 24 constituencies. So that's 240 people at least that can be able to go out there and put nation first. You don't have to look at your political party.
You know that first is gonna ask.
He's a PLP or FNM?
You
or
understand what I said?
I know.
That's the problem we got in this town, bro. Seriously, that's a major problem.
Yeah.
We can't start off a country once. We got to find out where you is. I went to the Prime Minister's office, right? And I said, Concolay, I want to see. She said, the lady say, that's your name? I just show her my ID, would say Concolay on it. I would show you my ID, right? And afterwards she said, what constituency are you from? hold on. If I was white and I walk in the place, you wouldn't ask me that.
My God, Conklin.
I being real with you, Howard. You know, as a grown man, you know how that make me feel? What constituency are you in? You know how that make me feel? Like, if you ain't a part of what's going on, you get nothing done. Come on, man. This is the Bahamas, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, check out Konkole Konkola on all the social networks. No matter what handle you are, you can be able to check him out. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, any of those particular X, any one of those things, you could be able to pick him up on. Leave him a message there. Konkole, I want to be able to support. I want to be able to help clean up the beach. I want to do these particular things. Sometimes we have to be able to amplify and help our brothers and sisters in these particular instances, all right? So World Cleanup Day, September 20th. And he's looking for the support. We're going to be able to bring you on more times between now and September 20th to talk about it, to see if we can get more persons to be able to support and to help move the thing along. Is that okay?
That's okay. I think I still want to have a next meeting with Mr. Miller. So after the meeting with Mr. Miller, I'll let you know what's going on.
I appreciate you, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, that's none other than Konkole Konkola, the world famous, doing great things with Let's Do It, 242 Bahamas. Check him out on Facebook, Let's Do It, 242 Bahamas. Konkole Konkola, he's looking for your support. He's looking for a nationalistic approach, and we want to be able to get the Bahamas clean, green, and pristine. Let's take a quick commercial break, guys, and be right back after this. My brother.
The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
Here's a price list of some of the roofing material we carry at Pinda Enterprises. 5/8 pressure-treated roofing ply starting at $36.68. Gray Select Water Shield, $134.20 a roll. Felt, 15 pounds, $16.50. 30 pound, $19.80. Owens, Corning Duration Shingles, and Certainty Landmark Shingles, $56.56 a bundle. Gallon of roof cement, $33.47. All sizes treated dimensional lumber. And of course, we have all nails and all screws. We have 5/8 sheetrock, $28.76. Half-inch sheetrock, $22.18. All prices include VAT.
You or a loved one currently under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Our compassionate team is committed to patients and their loved ones. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept all major insurance. With 2 locations to serve you, at Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street, we also ship to the Family Islands. Visit us on Facebook or call Ports at 377-1771.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
Fancy this one-of-a-kind Pesto Club sandwiches from Burger King Nassau like you've never tasted before. Choose from a juicy chicken breast or a 100% flame-grilled beef patty topped with irresistible fresh pesto spread, cheese, crisp bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Or start your mornings right with the Pesto Chicken Croissant for breakfast. It's a delicious chicken patty topped with cheese, tomato, and fresh pesto spread on a classic buttery BK croissant. The Pesto Club sandwiches are new, fresh, and only at Burger King Nassau.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. 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 The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. The Foundation, live and in full effect on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday afternoon. I told you I got my guy in the house. He don't want me to call him John the Baptist. He said, Howard, is that blaspheming? You need to stop. John have no problem with this. He's good with it because he need all of us to follow in this particular path. Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour continues to be able to tell us about conservation as it relates to construction. None other than Avery Lightbourne with construction, art development. My brother, say good afternoon to the persons out there.
Good afternoon, Bahamas. Good afternoon to my wife and.
He's a smart man.
You
You always shout out your wife. He's a decent man.
every time.
I just
boy.
want to let you know that.
My queen. Oh boy, you know they say behind every good man and successful man is a great woman. So I try to make sure that she gets her kudos.
Praise God. He's a good man.
Yes, thank you very much, Howard. But I appreciate being here again, Howard. We are definitely putting the message out there when it comes to sustainability and construction. We'll be in Eleuthera on the 31st and the 1st. We're trying to set up shop down in Eleuthera, hopefully after this expo that we're doing down there at Workers' House with Stone Oak. And we're gonna have everything on display.
When is that gonna be?
That's gonna be on the 31st of March and the 1st of June.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
Yeah,
March?
2 days.
May.
May. Sorry, where am I?
May.
Yeah, 31st of May and the 1st of June. So
May.
we're looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that, being down in Eleuthera with my hometown. I feel like I'm giving something back to my
Is that
roots.
sort of the warm reception that persons are getting, that you're giving something back? Are people viewing this as conservation like we're speaking about? Or do they see this as, sort of a gimmick? Do they see the value in what you're doing? Because I definitely do. And I think a lot of those engineers and other persons who've decided to go with you definitely do. So are you getting that kind of a warm reception from persons being able to tap into what you're using?
Well, when you're giving stuff back, people expect it for free, so they may not see it right away, right? So I think the industry itself understands when I say I'm giving back. I think I'm doing something that is going to be legacy. It's gonna be the change of construction in the Bahamas as we know it. When persons understand the value of this product, when the engineers start to push it, when the architects start to push it, when we get all the stakeholders involved, showing the advantages of it. I mean, you could see it as just another product, Howard. The fiberglass rebar as just another product, but it's not just another product. I would say just another product is something that is more cosmetic, something that you can fix when it disposed, the next new thing is coming out. That's why I like your show, the name of the show, The Foundation. When you start with this product, you have a product that is gonna last forever, and you want your foundation to be as strong as possible.
Absolutely.
Because that's not something cosmetic that you can change out like a tile or a doorknob or you know what I mean, like a door or something like that. So what I'm trying to encourage is people to look into these products that are sustainable. You're putting it into your investment, and so we're just trying to give. That's the give back there. Something that you're not gonna have this problem that you're facing with now.
Talk to me about this kind of an influence that you're having in the industry right now. I know a lot of persons are moving to you. We've continued to be able to talk about that. There are different spheres of society, whether that is from a governmental standpoint, from a residential or commercial standpoint, from the private sector. Are you getting buy-in? More specifically in the city of Nassau, are you getting buy-in to this particular product? This is a one-of-a-kind product. The best that you have that is available in the entire industry has been proven, has been tested. You've been able to see those. Give me some more insight about that, whether or not you're getting buy-in, and amplify the fact that this is a one-of-a-kind product that is renowned the world over in this particular industry.
Well, I can see it as I think I am getting the buy-in because we get products approved here in Nassau. So it has to go through a process. Of course, again, I said an engineer had to submit this to the Ministry of Works. This product had to submit it because it's a structural product. So an engineer had to submit it to the Ministry of Works. It had to pass the smell test with technical data to back up what the testing was behind it, how many years it's been tested, and then the persons who approved this down at the ministry, they would have to get information from the labs that doing the testing, and then also what we did was icing on the cake. We also brought in a third party that does the vetting for products that are fiber reinforced polymers There's an agency that actually vets the factories that manufacture it. And so the credibility of it, definitely the government bought into it, through the ministry at least. The engineers down there, they bought into it and made it available as an alternative solution to the problems that we have when it comes to reinforcement. So I would say as far as buy-in from that standpoint, yes. As far as the Bahamian populace, it's getting.
Now, there's two aspects to that particular buy-in. I get in your business, and we're looking for opportunities to be able to expand and really be able to find that in the foundation or in the footprint of these buildings. Yeah. We find ourselves in this kind of position now as we get into a different season in this country where we're seeing a lot of building, we're seeing a lot of groundbreaking, we're seeing these particular things. Whilst the buy-in is from a technical standpoint and the technocrats saying, okay, we accept this, we identify this, we've been able to test this, we approve of this, what about the government saying, we believe in this kind of a progressive step and we want to be able to help small and medium-sized businesses and entrepreneurs to move in this direction? Have you seen that? Have you heard that? And are they buying into that particular thing?
Well, again, I guess it's a process of time when it comes to how much they buy into it. We have had requests for a number of schools using the product as far as repairs. And so once you get persons that are in those spaces who make the decision and they understand, and that's what it is, the decision makers have to understand. And it has to be genuine because we're talking about our taxpayers' money. Yeah. So all of our government buildings, right? All of our seawalls, our sidewalks, the things that protect us or surrounding us that you have to continuously repair because of this problem of corrosion. Why not fix it once and for all? Why not have that legacy as a government agent or a person who's in government and responsible for these things? Like, why don't you want to create that legacy that's never going to move again in your lifetime or in your generation's life or in 2 and 3 generation lifetime? Your mark is still there because you put that there. I can't see why they wouldn't want it. I'm trying to actually open their eyes to it, that everything that this product goes in now is going to be sustained when it comes to the structural. It's a fiberglass rebar that no rust, no corrosion. It lasts a lifetime. So, unless they don't want it last a lifetime or there's something else, I wouldn't say it's something fishy going on. It's just that relationships have been created over the years with what they know and where they get products from.
You see yourself fighting against that a lot? The tradition of how things have done and how things were done in the country. Well, we've been doing this for 25 years, for 38 years. And ain't no need to stop now.
Well, I know that I was going to have that pushback, Howard, because I'm not a contractor by trade, right? I didn't come up doing construction, and now I'm promoting one of the most legacy creating materials, I think, in our time, right? Because it's dealing with structural, and everybody, whether you're a homeowner or you're renting, the structure that you're in, have my product, the version of structure, infrastructure when it comes to steel or when it comes to just steel or the fiberglass rebar, right? I get tongue twisted inside here. But what I'm saying is everybody is a client. So even the contractor. So what I don't want the contractors to do is sell the people short who you're building for. Give them an option. And I can guarantee you it ain't going to hit their bottom line where it costs you the money that you need. Like, the products are there. Give the people an option. And if you care about the persons that you're dealing with, I mean, the structural drawings, they say, oh, well, the code, the drawings call for this, right? Well, you could go down by the ministry. Once you give the people the option, you could go down by the ministry. You have the engineer record or a person doing the construction, and they write on the schedule where you see the foundation, the rebar schedule, and you write and tell and change it out that you're using FRP, which is fiber reinforcement polymer, or you're using fiberglass rebar rather than steel. and they will stamp off on it once they see it. And the conversion is the same thing. It's no change in the conversion, so there should be no long delay.
Has that been like a hindrance? A lot of persons anticipate that this can be busy, and oh my God, this can take long, and
Right.
you know how long this can take, and so you're saying that this is a fairly quick process.
The process is quick because all they need, the person who's doing the building is saying, I'm using this material rather than this material because it's structural. So if the drawings call for this and you have an alternative that does the same thing, they allow it. Now, like I said, I'm not an engineer, right? But I know these things because I have to understand these things to sell the product. Another thing is, Howard, if I go and sit down with each one of the clients of every contractor in this country right now, if I sit down with your clients, I only need 5 minutes. And everybody know I'm a salesman. I could talk, but I got to back it up with facts, right? So I can't just
And
talk
quality
up
products.
yeah. So I just can't talk this and not have a backup. It's like I just trying to put something out there to scam people. You understand? I've never been in
Hold
that
on now.
space.
Now we know this existed in our country before, but I can say to you from your evangelism, right? I gotta keep calling it that. You did
Thank
that.
you. I
You crossed
appreciate
it. You did this.
I
right?
appreciate you.
All right. For you being able to push this kind of an idea for conservation and the consideration of being able to use the rebar, this kind of a fiber reinforcement rebar, we can be able to do that, right? I like to see this. I like to see that you're working with One Oak, right? Is it One
Stone
Oak?
Oak.
Stone Oak, sorry, Stone Oak, right? And I like to see the fact that you're traveling together because as we start to think about construction, we start to think about development, we start to think about how do we purchase these things. Now you have the relationships that you, right off the top, they're considering you to say, hey, listen, this is something that we're going to be able to put in these structures. So now we're not just giving these people, a quick slam bam home. We're considerate. We're looking for conservation. We understand that this is the biggest investment some persons have ever made
Right.
or will ever make. We want to be able to ensure that this is sustainable. We want to be able to ensure that in 15, 20 years that your bell course ain't swelling and the thing busting out of the side of the thing. Talk to me about that.
And well, kudos to Stone Oak for what they're doing, putting all of the stakeholders together to put on these trade shows so that people will have a path. Even if they're not ready for it financially, at least they know what they need to do in order to get to that place. And so kudos.
This speaks largely about them,
Yeah,
an
it
organization that actually sees conservation at the forefront.
Yeah, because sustainability is one of their main charges that they promote with their companies, doing the solar, how they building economically. See, what happened to how it is, you don't have to put your basket way over your head, reach to a certain point, but make sure it's quality. Like you don't have to have the 3-bedroom house. Maybe you want a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, or 1.5 bath. Like you have to scale down because people talk about the costs of these things, and maybe you should scale down. Maybe the cost is what you want late. You could get it later, but you have to start somewhere, and I think that's where Stone Oak is. Stone Oak is to the place where you want your first home, or even if you want a second home, they could scale there, but mainly for your first home. Think about just occupying a piece of the rock with your first home, and we can make that sustainable and to last, right? And we're going to bring all the people to you that you need to make this happen. So you got the Minister of Health and Environment, who's got State Minister Zane Lightbourne is going to be there speaking. This is on the 31st. You have Minister of Housing, Minister Keith Bell. You have the Member of Parliament, Minister Clay Sweeting, who's going to be, all of those persons are going to be there on the ground. These the chiefs
Hold
now.
on.
They're
Member
the
of
chiefs.
Parliament, Minister Clay Sweeting, and Minister of Minister of Works.
Minister of Works is going to be there.
Yeah.
He's the Minister of Works, right?
He's the Minister of Works.
Right, and you'll have the Ministry of
But
Housing.
I'm trying to tell you, this is humongous.
No, this is huge
These
for
are the people that
Eleuthera.
you want in that space.
Right, and they have the tools and the information that you need. So you have the insurance companies that are going to be there, that you can choose which insurance company you want. We have insurance management's going to be on the ground. Kalina's going to be on the ground. Bank of the Bahamas is on the ground in Eleuthera, of course. You have Royal Bank down there. All of these stakeholders, all of these persons are going to be in this one room where we're going to be able to get the information. If you want to own a home, Bring your paperwork so the banks could qualify you on the spot in there. And so, I mean, this kind of action or this kind of initiative, Howard, like, I don't know what else you need. I don't know what else you want for persons to do to give you the information like this. That we are bringing the whole thing to Luther.
The kit and caboodle, everything.
Everything that you need from the lawyers. We're bringing law firms. We're inviting real estate companies, right? So if you need a piece of land, you're looking for a piece of land.
You're inviting a radio company, though.
We invite the radio stations down. You coming out with?
This is an invite, or you just casually
This is the invite, Howard.
I know you was joined the box.
Howard, would you come down and come?
Go ye therefore and get the ticket. I will be there.
Howard, if you say you're gonna be down there and you could broadcast with Lutra, I would love that. Let's talk about that. Because then I think that would, y'all need to get some power so you can get down in Lutra, man, because they need some airwaves down there having shows like this, because a lot of people don't hear it. They don't get it unless they go online. And so maybe more of that need to be advertised. But this initiative, I think, we're in paradise. Every Bahamian deserves a piece of this paradise, and they have access to it. What they don't have is the capital to afford it. So we need to look at how we could get them to that point and give them the information. And I feel that this initiative is going to drive that a little bit more. For people to understand.
I like it, man.
How they can do it.
I like it. You've been pushing this for a long time. Let persons know how they could get in contact with you, how they could be able to find out more about this. They want to know whether or not this is affordable. They want to be able to see a test sample. Let them know how they can reach you to find out more information.
Well, you can call the office. We're down at Palmdale, right in the Dugard Plaza where McDonald's is, with a line always blocking up people.
Yeah.
We're right upstairs in that building. You can reach us at 6.
It was blue at green now.
Yeah, man, we getting up there.
Okay,
It's green now
great.
because of
Pink.
MST bar.
Oh, okay.
603-4506. 603-4506. You send us in your PDF. We could definitely send you up a quote, or you could bring your plans and drop it off to the office. We could definitely authorize a quote for you on your do a takeoff for you on the rebar. Or you can reach us at 822-9527. That's 822-9527. Or hit us up on the Facebook, on the social media handles at ART Development BFRP. That's Art Development BFRP. Or you can check out the website for more information at frpbahamas.com. That's frpbahamas.com. MST Bar is the best bar, making best fiberglass rebar on the market right now.
I like it.
They have a unique design, and not every fiber rebar performs the same. So look out for the name MST Bar. That's what you want to be. And look out for
And you ain't
Art
got to go far
Development.
for that. You ain't got to go to Canada for that.
Here we have our lay-down yard in Churchill subdivision. That's in the back there by Chelsea's Choice off the highway. Churchill subdivision is where our lay-down yard is, that back road. It's called Crawl Street, Craal. I think that's Crawl or Crawl. Crowell Street, we're in the back there. You could go and see the products. We have enough to supply any project. People say, oh, well, how you can bend it? Well, we have the bends prefab, so it's plug and play. We also can make up your columns for you, so you just pick them up and throw them on the truck or your car. I see people just put them on the roof of their cars. Like,
really?
Oh yeah, put them on the roof of their cars.
This is
and pull
NASA.
up.
You'll see that.
Yeah.
This is NASA.
But
You'll see
you can't do that with regular rebar. Pay that money for a truck.
Praise God. And I'll mash up your ceiling and your roof of your car. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than Avery Lightbourne being able to talk to us about MST Bar and being able to talk to us about how conservation is important, how you can be able to step into these things. He gave you the numbers. You know, I always talk about him, always talk about this sort of a mission that he has for you to be able to enlighten yourself. Open your eyes to conservation. And one of the major investments that you're going to be making in your life, you want to be able to do that, ensure that it lasts. Ensure that it lasts. We pray that God, that your marriage lasts as long as this particular bar.
You have a strong foundation to build. Strong foundation.
Strong foundation. It will. But if she say, I want a house, 20 years later, you come back and still look good. Still there. I go, MST Bar all up nice. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this quick commercial break, get to news, and be right back after this.
Foundation. foundation.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Fancy this one-of-a-kind Pesto Club sandwiches from Burger King Nassau like you've never tasted before. Choose from a juicy chicken breast or a 100% flame-grilled beef patty topped with irresistible fresh pesto spread, cheese, crisp bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Or start your mornings right with the Pesto Chicken Croissantwich for breakfast. It's a delicious chicken patty topped with cheese, tomato, and fresh pesto spread on a classic buttery BK croissant. The Pesto Club sandwiches are new, fresh, and only at Burger King Nassau.
Wake up, Bahamas. Join the Zonta Club of Nassau's second annual We Are Family Fun Run, Walk, and Push on Saturday, May 17th from 6 a.m. at the Montague Foreshore. Push a stroller, walk with grandma, or sprint. Just move with us. The first 100 finishers will receive a medal. Stick around for health screenings and wellness sessions. Every dollar supports PACE and the Bahamas, along with our youth programs. Registration for groups of 10 is $25 each. Single adults, $30. Kids under 13, 10. Plus, everyone that registers gets a goodie bag and t-shirt. Call us today at 807-3021 or email zontaclubofnassau@hotmail.com. See you at the Montague Foreshore on May 17th at 6 a.m.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Guardian Radio wants to remind you of the cruise getaway promotion. Guardian Media Group and Going Places Travel want to take you on a 7-day cruise to Panama, Colombia, Curacao, and Aruba on Royal Caribbean's Serenade of the Seas. And here's the best part. No visas required. You have 4 ways to enter, 4 ways to win. Fill out the form in the Nassau Guardian. Listen to Star 106.5 or Guardian Radio 96.9. And follow the Facebook and Instagram or make a purchase at Going Places Travel. Entry deadline is June 27th, 2025. June 27th, 2025. The drawing date would be July 4th, 2025. So pack your bags and get ready to soak up the sun and feel the ocean breeze. You and 3 loved ones sailing the high seas on a vacation cruise of a lifetime. Brought to you by the Guardian Media Group and Going Places Travel. Remember, there are certain conditions that apply. Airfare, taxes, and gratuities are not included. I want you guys to be able to know that, man. Get yourself excited. You got the passport. All you was traveling on for the longest time is your police record. You keep holding your breath to see if they're going to find your fingerprints on that place where you've been by that woman you shouldn't have been. Amen? Let's just be decent, right? But you could be able to get your thing taken care of. Go down there and get those things taken care of, guys. The line's going to be wide open. We were supposed to have somebody come show up with me, 2 people, right? No, 1 person. And he just texted me, tell me, Howard, I'm so sorry I can't make it. Boom, boom, boom. Remember, man, there are so many people who calling me, and I have to defer their space. So let's if you're calling me and I extend an opportunity to be able to sit with me to do these particular things at especially at no cost, please do your best if you can be able to show up so, somebody else don't cuss me out. Say, how would you say you got somebody and you ain't got nobody? And, let's just be decent. All right, so we're going to be able to do that, guys. The numbers you can call today, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the Family of Violence, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. I'm seeing some information. Let me ask you this question firstly. What is happening in the realm of social media And those outlets send more and more information to tell you about what's happening from a national standpoint, what's happening from a local standpoint, and talking about those particular things, right? So you got this press or, this one in News and the Know and all these other things like that. You see these things on Facebook. You see these things on social media. But I only want to know, over the past 72 hours, there has been more information that come out than dog. There has been more political slander, salacious garbage. I just want to be decent as I say this to you. There has been more roaring and rolling out of natural vomit. I just want to say that to you. What is happening? The only time I would have seen this, or I see this, is when we are closer to a political time. Yeah, when we're closer, when we know that we are just a stone throw away. I don't know whether or not we know that just yet. I think we are testing it, similar to when Graham Williams said, Jesus soon return, but you ain't see no signs in the sky. I think a lot of persons are seeing the signs in the sky, and their actions on earth are shifting them into a position of absolute degradation or this kind of a realignment. So we see this kind of a sharp contrast that exists on earth, this stark contrast that exists here. Now, I'll apply the same principle to politics. The only time I see these things happening and bubbling over is when we are guaranteed that something's about to happen. Are we guaranteed? Do we believe that there will be an election happening this year? I know I often spoke of it. More recently, we would have actually been able to see the opposition leader in the House of Assembly, Michael C. Pintard, for the Free National Movement, take on this kind of a posture of what his beliefs are, that the Progressive Liberal Party will go to an election by September of this year. That's a little heavy. It's a little heavy. I want to say this. Can we talk like this, ladies and gentlemen? I want to talk like this with you. In April of this year, March, April of this year, I would have made these kind of positions and predictions. And given the fact that this is fluid, we're dealing with fluidity, we're dealing with relentless shifting and changing. And there's always a caveat. I realize that and recognize that now that when we speak, we have to be responsible and being able to put a caveat and never put yourself in the final of conversation. So we don't want to punctuate it. I'll just put an ellipsis, a ... Yeah, and then we look for the filling thereof. So from April of this year, March, April of this year, I've said to you, I believe, based upon the environment, based upon the charge, based upon how things are happening, I believe that the PLP is waiting, we talked about this, to find out what will happen with this indictment. We talked about this. This is not me calling anybody's names. We're not doing any of these things, right? I think those social media outlets have done enough of that, okay? And it's crazy that you hide yourself behind this kind of a cloak, right? I don't understand people like this. I don't. I just don't. I'm not going to cuss you and fight you. I understand that, money is money, and you got to find a way to be able to get it, and, you got to get in where you fit in. I'm not going to fight you. But I out here with my government name, my father's name, my great-grandfather's name, and I stand in strong on the things that I say. So I study to make sure that I don't sound like an idiot. And if I'm convicted about a particular thing, I dive even deeper into that. So when opposition comes to me, I can stand firm on my convictions. All right? Or I speak about these things and I'm open enough to be scrutinized, to be chastised, and to learn from that. Yeah, because I present you me. I don't present this kind of a concept where the last nail to be hit. I don't sign my stuff like that. Right? I don't sign the man on the distant porch. I don't do that. Pre-sunset retire, however you all assign it, right? The roach on the bend. I don't know how you all assign these things. When you're doing your letter to the editor, when you're doing these things, it seems as though there is a desire to be able to put information out, but you want to be able to throw a rock and hide your hand. I think we're going to have to be a little bit more mature than that in this society. You're throwing rocks at people, and you're hiding your hand. And there are some people, they find themselves in this position that they say all manner of evil about you. This man called me fat 98 times. I mean, the first one was sufficient. I don't understand why we have to keep elaborating, right? Howard can't go away, running on with a bunch of stupid things, and then he says that I am extorting politicians. That's what he says. He says, Howard Grant is extorting politicians. I don't even think he understands what extorting means. But he put this all over social media and vomit himself all over the world as a paid operative to be able to carry out the agenda of men and women who just want to be able to ensure that they could be nestled in the position of incompetence and a casual approach to what leadership should be. So you're mad at me. You're mad at me because I made an assessment using my ChatGPT and the participation of the people from your constituency to find out the strength of your candidate or your member of parliament, that constituency. Now you're mad at me. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. But if I have to be the proverbial John the Baptist and be the forerunner of conversations like this to be able to change the psyche of how we commune and how we relate to each other on this media platform, then my God, let's do it. Let's do it. Because I'm tired of stupidity. I'm tired. I am sick and tired of you all coming out here and having nothing to say. Nothing to say. The first thing is, you ain't look at value yet. And that's why we have a lot of divorces in this country, you know. Because all you saw was your wife shaped like a wasp. You say, my God, you ain't notice a girdle. Huh? She got 5 girdles on and a WWE belt. Wrapped around here trying to be able to pull the thing in. Yeah. Because if you look at her mother, and you look at her sisters, look at the children, all of them overweight, but she's slim. She's 2 sandwiches away, but you ain't worrying about that. You only worrying about what you can see right now. Right now. And you consume with it. You consume with superficiality. There is no value in what you carry. You ain't learned nothing in your life. This is where you are. And that is applied and carried on in so many parts of our lives. We have to fix this, guys. Now, if I have to be the sacrificial lamb that goes ahead and you seek to be, but it's a big target, you know, and I could take a cut hip. Listen to me, I could take a cut hip. I could give one too. All my life, I was designed for this. I'm prepared for this because I ain't scared. But I look at social media and I realize that stupidity, this salacious posture, this sort of an idea of perpetuating nothing but garbage seems to be ramping up. But it's out there. And I would like to know whether or not we're going to push past that and get to the core of real matters in this country and talk about real issues for growth and development, or are we going to play the same old political lines that took us absolutely nowhere in the past? Listen, if somebody says something about you that ain't no true, find a lawyer, give them a retainer, and sue their pants off. Sue the hell out of them. Yeah, don't worry about what you can get or what you ain't gonna get. You have to let people know that you are going to stand up for what you believe in. Sue the hell out of these people. I got 6 lawyers. I can tell you, give you one. Call me. I can tell you which one could help you. Call me. Yeah, the lawyers can't advertise, but you call me and I'll tell you who's good for that. Yeah, sue these people. Yeah, we taking your car and your house, everything you got that your dirty money got you, we coming for that. Because you use your filthy mouth to say the wrong things. You ain't put no thought into it. You ain't got no convictions on what you're saying. You're just repeating and regurgitating what you hear people say. You don't even understand. You want to be a participant so bad in a political conversation, but you don't even know how to study this thing. You don't even know how to study. So now you're out here just making empty noise. seeking to disturb the path for growth and development in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't let this happen no more. We can't be casual about this no more. And all of us can't be dumb. All of us can't be dumb to believe that garbage. All of us can't be in the same situation. Let's change this country, man. Let's change this country. And it's going to be hard to be able to have these conversations when we talk about growth, when we talk about development, when we talk about transparency, when we talk about forward movement, when we talk about conviction, when we're talking about faith, when we're talking about realignment. It's hard to have these conversations. When we're talking about character, when we're talking about the essence of a man or a woman in these particular positions, we're talking about our expectations of what they should bring to the forefront. We're talking about being able to set up a mold to identify our expectations for men and women to ascend to leadership positions. As we talk about that, now you have to analyze yourself to find out whether or not you are prepared to move towards that. And if you're found wanting, then you shouldn't be there. Listen to me. Howard Grant ain't the one to call you out and say you was a sweetheart or you keep sweetheart or this and that. I think it never can be the conversation I have with you. Howard Grant ain't gonna call you out and say this one is a homosexual or he gay or he have outside children and whatever things that is beyond it. I don't do that. Don't get in your business. I can call you out and say you've been in this particular capacity over this amount of time. There's an expectation that you do this, this, and this within this time. You haven't moved towards those things. I am gauging your competency based upon your lack of application in the areas that you were committed, that you were assigned. I'm going to gauge you based upon whether or not the prime minister have to get up and tell you to do something. That's how I gauge in you. Most recently, we see the Registrar General taking on this kind of a new role. They've put a new person in that particular capacity. I'll open up the papers and be able to tell you that person and who it is. Congratulations to, let me find it out. It's in my phone. I read it this morning. But it's sad to see that lackadaisical is, and the nature of these things could drag on so long until the new Valley Boys come up or the new on all these issues happen. And now you seek to be able to differentiate between those particular sectors. So you got intellectual properties, you got company businesses, and you got record keeping. And so you've identified those three divisions to be able to find efficiency and application in those areas. My God, thank you, Jesus, that you thought about that. And you seek to fix those things. But I hate how a snowball got to roll up in hell for you to be able to realize that you got to change some stuff. I hate it that people is go to work every month on time. You ready to cuss the government if you don't get your check on time. You cussing right now, you ain't get your overtime, but you ain't do nothing yet. Now, if the rock show and you behind the rock or in the front of the rock and you get hit, is a different story. But obviously, everyone, because the government is still moving forward. So incompetence, while it exists in that particular space, everybody can be incompetent. But there are some people that are in these particular spaces, especially those persons in higher positions throughout the organizations, the other departments, that have not produced at all. All they did was hold the proverbial line. That's all you've done with the time that you've been there. All you did was hold the line. You lied to me when I went in your office, 865,000 pieces of papers and booklets and all over the place, all over these things. It'll make you feel subconsciously that you was a productive person, but all this is lies. You don't know where nothing is. And you function in organized confusion. So you know ain't no God in that. You know ain't no God in that. I got to commend her. Let me call her name now so I could be decent. Because she got the opportunity and she stepped in this kind of a position and role. Laverne Thompson. named new registrar general register for companies. So I got a shout out to Laverne Thompson. This ain't got nothing to do with you, Ms. Thompson. And you were prepared to be able to step in that. And so we pray productivity, and not just busyness, but we pray productivity and being able to produce for those persons who are stepping in, who need assistance in those areas. So continue to be able to do well. And I'm grateful for calamity. I am. Because with calamity comes clarity. I really got to write some books. With calamity comes clarity. Yeah. So now you open up your eyes to the issues that exist in these particular places. And at this particular time, now we could be able to set the record straight. So the corruption that, this perceived corruption or alleged corruptions that's coming down to the Royal Bahamas Police Force is coming down, and all these subsectors of government is coming down, even this looming cloud of perceived corruption that looms over the government, both the opposition and the government of the day. This looming cloud of perceived corruption that says there's a high-ranking official that will be named in the indictment coming down. That cloud that exists there, I pray to God that it showers heavy upon you, that it could bring, and for the people of the Bahamas, eventually it could bring clarity. Let me take this telephone call before I go to break. Caller, go on ahead.
Howard.
Hey, what's up?
Howard.
Hey, what's up?
Everything cool. You strong, boy?
What's happening with you?
As usual. Thank God for life, Pop. I might be honest. I'm on a funny phone, so you might hear me a little different today. I have a suggestion for Concolay. I think it's really not just tremendous, but it's really awesome, like how he been helping for years with the cleanup thing and represent the Bahamas without the support what he really need. But before I give my suggestion, I haven't heard from Anton. Someone was mentioning that the chairman, Fred Mitchell, say PLP shouldn't open him out.
No. He called twice. He called twice, but that I heard from Anton, and he is doing a little studies at this particular time.
That's
so,
good. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah. He's expanding his territory.
I encourage him to do whatever he got to do. You know, some of us enjoy hearing him, knowing that.
No. He called me. He called me on my phone. And he and I had a conversation, so he's expanding his territory educationally and preparing for the next steps in his life.
I ain't blame him, but I wish I was doing more of that. But thank God for whatever it is. Howard, the suggestion what I wanted to give the Congress. But tell me, you hear anything about Leslie Miller coming to run again?
No.
Someone was saying something with that. I don't know. That's not just a rumor. You see the prisoners, them in Fox Hill Prison. I think they have a program up there where you could go and hire some of them just sitting down there and doing nothing, and a lot of them have trades or know how to do certain things. So it's a program. I think they just come out and they just work with supervision and stuff like that. This thing with Concolay talking about and hoping that the members of Parliament
I like that.
offer 10 people from each constituency. I think there's something with him, and he talked highly about Minister Warren Miller being the first minister who assisted him over all the years after all of those ministers done passed, with this cleanup program thing what he's have. And I think the minister should continue working with Concolay. But I wish the minister and Concolay them could work with the prisoners about that program what they have up there, that they could come out and assist with even the prisoners them. I think it's more we could do to work along with them, rather than just sitting down and coming out, and some of them might even get jobs working, doing these kind of things them when they then come out of prison.
I like that.
I will keep up the good work.
I appreciate it. I like that, but I don't know the protocol specifically of how to do that. I wouldn't discourage it. I'll say to Concolay reach out to Her Majesty's Prison or His Majesty's Prison. I don't know how they reassign it now. Find out whether or not this is a possibility. I know that you'd have civilians being able to work against or work alongside those persons who are incarcerated. And I don't know the protocols associated with that. So you could call, you could find out, you could send the formality of a letter and find out whether or not you can be able to get that done. But I think it's a good idea. I appreciate you, Popper. Let me take a next telephone call. Caller, go ahead. 323-623-223-2416-325-4259. Anywhere from the family of violence, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Quick commercial break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
Foundation. The Foundation.
The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation.
Great Commissions Ministries is God's storehouse. They have been caring for the poor, homeless, and hurting since 9 support their Stop and Drop program by dropping off some food items in their barrels and some cash in their bottles. You can donate an offering each month or pay your tithes online to Great Commissions through the Givelify or Suncash apps. Help them to shelter the homeless, feed the hungry, and spread the gospel of Christ. Volunteer your service and support the Live to Give program. Call Great Commission Ministries, God's Storehouse, at 325-5801 for further information, or stop by the office on Wolf Road. Be blessed.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Sharing is caring, and what better way than with Popeye's new Ghost Pepper Chicken Box? This fiery box includes the Ghost Pepper Chicken Sandwich, 4 pieces of any of our mouth-watering flavored wings, fries, a delicious apple pie, and a drink for just $15.95. So share with a friend or enjoy the variety of irresistible goodness alone. Available for a limited time only.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect on this beautiful Thursday afternoon out here in the land of the living. Guys, I hope you're well. I hope it's raining outside. I didn't ask Jesus for 3 days with the rain. We get 2. My God, let me see if we can get another one. We're looking for some rain today to be able to saturate the environment. Guys, I just want to be able to have a transparent conversation with you. I will not stand. As long as God gives me the strength to be able to sit here and the conviction to be able to speak with strength and this kind of a posture to say it like it is, right? Without fear of going against somebody who paying me. My God, I just want to be decent. Yeah. Without fear that I won't be able to pick up a check. Without fear that, oh my God, if I say this, I could lose my job. As long as the Father has given me a slot and a space to be able to speak, I will speak with clarity and with strength and conviction for what my beliefs are. I believe it's time for us to wake up out of the stupor and the way that we do politics in this country. I think and I believe, I'm convicted, that it's time for us to see what resides in the dark matter in these people's head. I need to know what in your head and your heart. We need to have more debates. We need to have town halls. We need to be able to have constituency debates. We need to be able to have a standard that we can identify them for. Who gives a hell if the House of Assembly doesn't have these particular criteria in terms of what our criteria is in the constituencies and what our expectations for there to be growth and development in the constituencies? Yeah. Let's be clear about this, okay? We've heard noted politicians, KCs and QCs, take on this position because of their fraternity, because of their law background, because of their, their depth in these areas. They're learned men and women, many of them. And they would always negotiate and navigate a conversation through the lens of legality. They will always say to you the legality of it and reject the morality of it. They reject the idea of whether or not this is moral. They just want to know whether or not this is legal. And we can't argue with that. We are merely lowly men. We're laymen. We are lowly men as it relates to these particular persons who have elevated of what law is in this country. We are merely lowly men. And in this lowly posture, we still have a standard and a requirement of morality. I need to talk with you. We need to talk with you. We need you to roll up your sleeve, go in your constituency, around 150 people in a tent, carry your cameras, and ask and answer real questions. We don't want you to stage them 150 people under there. We want the same fella in the box saying, yeah, you lie. I want to hear him tell you you lie. I want the alcoholic under there with you. I want the broken men and women under there who questions. Because these are the same ones you bring Guinness to and things like that to vote for you. It's what you do. You guarantee them to vote for you, but you wouldn't even allow them to ask you a question. Some of the most profound questions and deep introspection come from those same people who are perceived to be broken in your constituency. But you reject them and walk over them. Yeah. We got to change this narrative. If you're going to let people who $150 a pop to be able to spew some garbage on social media to spin some of these people to make a determination how you vote in the next election, you deserve everything you get. Yeah, because most time they dealing with and working for people of ill rapport. Low lives in a suit. Yeah. Most of the times they dealing with, if people could do that and go to these levels, then what else they could do? Now you're looking at their hand, the edges of that finger black. You try to figure out, because they didn't put their hand to darkness. I just want to be decent with you and have a good conversation with you. If they're willing to do what it is, if they are saying they're doing whatever it takes to win, my God, then they ain't knocked that off the board yet. And these are the people that y'all want to vote for. And you're allowing to perpetuate a narrative to be able to denigrate and pull down people just to be able to elevate them. I mean, I don't understand this. You got to cuss me out? I can tell you one story. I was out one night. This was years ago, before I was married. I just always have to give you the I got to tell you this. Me and my guy was out. He married, I married, all us married now. We saved, love Jesus Christ, so just go with the story. But we was out one night, and we was hanging out. And there was a concert this night, and this place was book out. I mean, book right out, book out, book out. Right? Me and my guy out. And he just met this young lady, who he's married to now, honestly, right? He just met this young lady, and he invited her. Now, me and him going out now. It's because he's my guy, we roll together, right? Now, me and him going out, and he invited this girl. So I say, why did you invite the girl? Me and you say we going out tonight? I didn't invite my woman. Why you invite your woman? What you doing? Right? He said, no, I just meet him. I said, okay, I can fight you. So he gone over to the northern side, and I said, I'm just hanging out. Now, as I was hanging out, looking fly, looking clean, whatever the case may be, I wasn't looking for no woman, honest to God. I didn't have my woman. I deep in love, but we out tonight as men. I never do this when I was young. Let me see, and fully immersed in this kind of experience. And now I'm in this place, and the place booked right out. I mean, every place booked out. You can't go nowhere. I have to stand up. As I stand in this corner, this young lady passed me, right? She passed in front of me, right? Like, she had to push past people to pass in the front of me, right? And I couldn't understand where she was going because I wasn't close to the bathroom. There was nothing over here. Absolutely nothing over here. But she pushed past me. Boom. And then she pushed past me again, going back to the same way. And I said, this girl got to be crazy. What happened to her? Then she come again. She pushed past me. Boom. Pretty gal. Oh, God, she was a pretty gal, right? But I couldn't understand what was what. So this is what I did. I moved from where I was standing. This is a true story from here to Jesus. I moved from where I was standing. Right? So I say, what happened to this woman? So When I move, I back of the room, and because I had me and my boy normally is, we hanging out or whatever the case may be. And so when I moved to the back of the room, she swing past again. So I said, what you doing, right? And then she fall on me, and I catch her. I said, what happened? You look like this way you want to be. And she started dancing with me. I said, oh, Jesus, hold on, baby, wait, what you doing, right? This is a true story. This is how it happened, right? Then my good friend and cousin, our cousin, we had another cousin who was there, but none of us is bothered with too heavy because, he's an idiot, right? But he was there. We didn't invite him. Me and my cousin was hanging out. And when he see the girl fall on me, I don't know, he must be watching the girl. He said, hey, what you doing? You don't know he getting married, eh? We didn't even get to this part of the conversation. We didn't get to this part of the conversation. Nothing. And I look at him and I say, what? Yeah, don't bother. And he started to go in deep on why she shouldn't bother with me in front of me. And I look at him like, sir, I wasn't even trying to cut up with this woman. I don't even know her, right? In my defense and posture and position, he had to seek to denigrate me and pull me down as an individual to be able to be viewed in her light, in her eyes, as a knight in shining armor. That's what's happening from a political standpoint. Nobody could stand firm and be able to say, this is why I'm the man. No one could stand firm and say, this is why I'm the woman. No one could stand firm and say, this is why you should choose me. They would decide to be able to go to every stinking, nasty, filthy, disgusting tactic to be able to see something negative from their opponent, as opposed to being able to show the strength that they have as individuals. And then you hire these people, then you put them in office, and they never, you ever, and these are the people you keep putting in for $150 a pop to the first social media person who will take that and be able to spread lies on the internet about these people. Y'all got to be decent in this country, man. We got to change the course and act of the country. You got to stand in conviction. You got to stand in strength. You got to realign yourself with righteousness and do the right thing. You men and women out here that decide to go contrary to the convictions, that decide and believe that you were set here to do your own bidding. I pray that Jesus, your House of Assembly again, be sick of y'all. We put you in there to be able to agitate, to advocate, to place a position, to be able to see change in this country. And all y'all doing is looking for change, which is cash, in this country. Y'all need to stop. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720, or hit me up 422-4796. Call on the line, go ahead.
A pleasure, good afternoon, Howard.
What's up, Sparky?
Howard, if you give me 60 seconds. Yeah, first of all, Howard, you got a number, 8270111, right?
Mm-hmm.
You always tell everybody to call you, contact you, doing this and that and that.
Mm-hmm.
I must say, Howard, you never answer it. I text you, I voice note you. I do everything, but you never
Sparky, I blocked you long time on 827 because you were sending me foolishness. I told you that. I was very clear with you. Now, if you want me to say that on the air, then I can say that on the air.
What I'm saying is I was trying to you were doing a function and stuff. I was trying to find out where you were. I had something I wanted to bring to you.
No, I appreciate it, Sparky, but I couldn't. I told you my children is up this phone.
Wouldn't answer your phone. You know what I'm saying? But leave it just like that. You know what I'm saying, Howard? But Howard, I mean, I don't know how long we could be talking about these things that we continue to talk about. Some of us, they call it, have been doing these things for years. Some of us we get cut off. This one rambling on and rambling on. But Howard, how much of these things we've been constantly talking about for years? We talk about the religious society. We talk the political leaders, the social leaders, the government leaders. And we keep this conversation over and over and over. But even when we talk about the religious leaders, we keep talking about Christianity. We got a constitution that allows the freedom of religion, speech, assembly, and all of that. I hardly hear any of the other religions like the Muslims and the Buddhists and the Sikhs and the Hindus and things. We have in our community also, you know. But I don't hear them being going on in the country. They live here too. They are Bahamians too. Many of them are citizens of the Bahamas now. The only people I hear ever come on to be referred to as Christians in a Christian nation. But in a Christian nation, I wonder where the Christians are, Howard. I hear us talk about Christianity a lot. We shout on it about it a lot. We bring them on the talk shows and everything, talk about this church and Christianity. But I feel that we do more hypocritical Christian talk than anything else, because look at our society now, Howard. You got human beings like myself. I scared to go out of my house in the day or in the night. When I knew as a youngster, I could have walked the streets at night from Madera Street down in the Grove. I mean, I have no problem. I scared to drive in my island where I grew up. And nothing seemed to be changing. All we hear about is corruption, police corrupt, defense force officers corrupt. Everybody seems to be corrupt in the country, and the population just growing. The vehicular traffic just growing. The island is not growing. The illegal people are coming in more and more. We're talking about it, but nothing is being done. We just seem to talk, but nobody's doing nothing because nobody wants to get victimized. If you're not a PLC, if you're not an S&M, if you're not a COI, you will get victimized. And another thing I'd like to say, Howard, now that, to be honest, Howard, thanks for giving me a moment. I have become a little bit what you call incapacitated. I'm at home now. I'm walking around with a walker now because of one or two little accidents I had and certain situations. But when I go around government places, we build in 2- and 3-story buildings without escalators or elevators. How does an old person or disabled person get to the second floor? There's no elevator. So I must come down to I only got one little rolling spot on the outside of the building to allow me to get into the front door. After that, I could go to the receptionist, and that's it. I can't get up to the 3rd floor to see this man or this woman.
And you ain't got no elevator, you ain't got no nothing.
Who's allowed these people to get away with designing these buildings?
My God.
These government buildings. Don't you think, Howard, that one day you could get old? You build a 3-story house for you and your family, so you and your wife can live upstairs on the 3rd floor. But who can get older quicker? You and your wife. So when something happens to you, you sprain your leg and everything, you got to move down to the 1st floor.
I got to move to the 1st floor, yeah.
So what's the sense you building the 3rd floor for? We don't think. We talk. Right now, we know politicians, their job is to get reelected.
Yeah.
Whatever they say, is to be reelected. I told you the other time, and you told me you was going to shout out over the radio to help me. Ain't nobody going to help you, Howard.
Well, I do my part, Sparky, and I appreciate you. I do my part, Sparky. I appreciate yourself from calling, Sparky. I got to take this break. But I do my part. I put the information out there, 827-0111. I just met a gentleman who has some backhoes and whatnot. I just talked with him this morning because I need him to do some stuff for me. And so hopefully we can be able to do that. I just stopped yesterday when I get back to you guys. I'm going to tell you about some soil that I picked up yesterday that I look forward to being able to get some things done in those particular areas. But listen, I've done my part, and that's what my responsibility is. And I'm looking for the participants to be able to assist us instead of the people who just talk, like you say. All right, let's take this quick commercial break, guys, and be right back after this.
The foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
The Cable Bahamas Group of Companies is proud of the incredible work our Alive Fiber technicians and sales representatives do every day on the front line and behind the scenes. To our loyal customers, we thank you for believing in us as we've hit the 20,000 subscriber mark. We couldn't have done it without you. Not with us yet? What are you waiting for? Join the Alive Fiber family at alivefiber.com to sign up.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation.
And we are at 96.9 FM radio, guys. The lines are open for these last few minutes before we get out of here. Just going to be able to say that to you. I was passing Gladstone Road yesterday. Now, you know that the city has been dry for a long time. You know that I feel like the country's been dry for a long time. And you know that everyone's grass seems to be brown. We don't see that kind of a lush green grass. And if you're like me and you look forward to being able to cut your grass, that's something that I wasn't able to do, not the way that I'd like to, for a little while without being able to damage the grass, right? And so I did my best. I went over to, these places that sell this stuff. I gotta be like that, right? And I purchased some lawn and garden stuff, right? So the Miracle Grow, the this, the that. I sprayed it all over the lawn and looking for it to jump. I brown patches in the lawn. I bought that thing, right? But I still, within the depths within me, I said, oh, Lord, I need some good soil. Anyway, traveling south on Gladstone Road yesterday on the right-hand side, just after you pass where they have the food market, where they have the agricultural food market, the BAIC thing, right? Just after you pass that on the right-hand side, I came up against this big mound, right? And the gentleman, Mr. Burrows, he had this kind of a big thing on there, this tractor. And it looked like he was excavating some stuff. Man, when he moved the top layer of soil, rock and whatnot, and that rich soil I see under there, I started, in the middle of the rain. I say, oh my God, stop right there, pull in there. And I said, sir, I just take a picture of the stuff to call him. And he was right there, just kind of clearing down the thing. So he came down, he said, pull over here. He and I spoke. He said, this is the best soil you want. He said, this is a coconut-infused soil, rich in nitrogen, and it'll be able to, anything you put in this, it'll grow. He must throw some tomatoes down or something like that right there where he had me parked. And you can see the nice little cherry tomatoes, right? So I said, oh God, cherry tomatoes. I grabbed one, clean it off, and taste it. My God. I said, sir, how much I can eat of it is? How much of it is, a yard, so forth and so on. He said, I can let you test out a bag. I got a bag of the thing, nutrient-rich soil. The type of soil that when you dig down is 220 degrees because of the mechanisms and the life that exists in these particular, that's an entire economy unto itself that lived down there, right? A society that lived down there, just being able to provide nutrients for the soil, that whenever you put something in that, it's a great opportunity. I know he ain't telling me to do this today, but I had to say that to you because Sparky kind of jogged my memory associated with that. And if you're looking for that, I can give you his number right now. He gave me his number, so I can give you his number also, so you can be able to call him and get some things done. His name is Ralph Burrows. Oh, Ralph, I hope you're mad. I called your whole government name. But nonetheless, he does the soil. 447-0261. 447-0261. If you're looking for some good soil, if you want to put your coconut tree in that, if you want to put your fruits and vegetables in that, if you want to put your basil in that, if you want to put your arugula, whatever you want to put, your lettuce, your tomatoes, your potatoes, whatever you want to put in that. If you want to make one flower box, or you got one flower box and you want to infuse it with that, if some of the flowers around the front of your yard is gone, aside all your ficus and everything that look like it's withering up and whatnot, buy some of this. Dig the soil, put it down there, water it, and let's watch this thing revive. That's why I tell you, I keep praying for rain to fall down here so we can be able to get something and get some things going and move in that direction. So I'd like to be able to see that. I'd like to be able to see you guys in a good position and your thing could be able to grow again. All right. All right, guys, I can wrap up the show right now for that. I want to say congratulations to the government for taking on this position. And I want to say to the government, as we get closer to the next general election, I know that you have in your mind media in your pocket. But let's be intentional and let's be deliberate as we continue to be able to travel to various spaces. Yeah, because I haven't heard from a great deal of them for a long time. I can tell you when that idiot start saying some foolishness about me, about this, that, and the next thing, I see you all dry up. I don't know why y'all would listen to an idiot, but nonetheless, it's your idiot, and that's what you want. But this is important because you are speaking. I speak to your constituents every day. I tell you the truth. I speak to your constituents every day. I'd like to see Chester Cooper sit with me. Chester, I have nothing but good things to say about you, and I'd like you to take the time to sit with me. I'd like to be able to hear from you. I know the Prime Minister would eventually find his way to be able to sit with me and sit with persons like us to be able to ask some questions as we get on the campaign trail. I'm hoping that he would take the time to sit with me. I'm hoping that he could be able to do that because I'd love to be able to speak with him. And even if I have to put him on a larger platform and give him a camera and so forth and so on to go live, I'd love to be able to do that. All right. But the truth is that I need you to know that we speak to your constituents every day. And I don't believe that the PLP is out of this game entirely. I don't believe that we will see, just like Hubert Ingram has been able to allude to. He's alluded to this idea that there can be no expectation that this dispensation will be FNM, PLP, FNM. This dispensation will be for the hungriest person, the hungriest political organization. And I believe that the PLP is showing their desperate desire, their hunger. The pangs are hitting them, and they want to find themselves. Come sit with me and talk to me about it. All right. I can ask you some questions like, what about the due diligence? What is in the contract? What is in the heads of agreement? What is our expectations to be able to be seen in Grand Bahama? Yeah, I know that you're comfortable asking, answering, or you may not necessarily be, but we will ask it for the sake of understanding that there is sustainability on your mind, not just victory. There is sustainability. There is consistency, and there is a true sense of growth and development on your mind as you make decisions for us to be able to step into a new era and a new space here in the country. Well, that's the show today, guys. I want to thank you so very kindly. Tomorrow is Friday. I hope you guys are good out there and being able to do these things. I want to talk about these things. We didn't get a chance to be able to talk about, well, yesterday, San says he can be able to deal with the mental health and be able to bring that